of reviving our God consciousness. The process of chanting also help us control our fickling mind. The mind is very difficult to control. One who has no control of the mind engage in sinful activities. The only process to tame the urge of this mind is to engage it in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I am Pooja from Sydney. And may I know who have joined today?
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surrender from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji and all the assembled devotees. Danvat Pranam. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Rasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mata. Sorry, go. Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devidasi from Augusta, Georgia. Dandvat Pranam to you and Dandvat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call. This is Geeta from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody
Hare
else who
Krishna.
would? Yeah.
Sorry. Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Aarti Desai from Ellicott City, Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna, the devotees, can we begin? Hare Krishna. Mataji, I don't see Mataji here. I'm not sure.
Hare Hare Krishna devotees, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Neela Govind Prabhuji from Andhra Pradesh. And today Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 2, verse 9. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, whenever you are ready, please take over the call.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. A reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 9. Sanjaya Vacha Evam Yukta Rishikesham Udakesha Parantapa Ayotsaiti Govindam Twatostin Bahuvaha. Sanjaya said. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti from Srila Prabhupada. Having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemy, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. The purport. Dhritarashtra must have been very glad to understand that Arjuna was not going to fight and was instead leaving the battle for the begging profession. But Sanjaya disappointed him again in relating that Arjuna was competent to kill his enemies, Parantapaha. Although Arjuna was, for the time being, overwhelmed with false grief due to family affection, he surrendered unto Krishna, the supreme spiritual master, as a disciple. This indicated that he would soon be free from the false lamentation resulting from family affection and would be enlightened with perfect knowledge of self-realization or Krishna consciousness and would then surely fight. Thus, Dhritarashtra's joy would be frustrated since Arjuna would be enlightened by Krishna and would fight to the end. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवश्री गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So it's a very interesting point where we are at the shloka. Couple of weeks back we discussed about this. Karpanya dosha apahata swabhava. Dear devotees, if we understand that this shloka, which is 7, this is the right platform or the foundation to actually learn Gita, to actually understand the heart of the Lord. Because if that karpanya dosha, that state of consciousness is not established, then the process of Krishna consciousness will not take us to the deeper levels. Why? Because let me tell you something. For example, let's say if a person is not diseased, will he go to the hospital? The person is not diseased. Will it give him any benefit going to the hospital? It doesn't give him benefit. There is no need to go to the hospital if his health is all right. Right? Let's say if the person is diseased, is not going to the hospital. Will that work for him? First case, he doesn't need to go. Second case, he is not going. He has to go. Both the cases is doing opposite thing. Let's say in the first case is going to the hospital even though his health is not well. Will that benefit him? There's no benefit in that. Then the second case is what? He has to go to the hospital but he's not going to the hospital. In both the cases, is it helping the person? It's not helping the person. That means what is happening? Unnecessarily is wasting his time. Right? In both the cases. Unnecessarily is troubling himself. Both the cases. First case one, he can do something else. Rather than wasting time going to the hospital unnecessarily sitting in the queue. On the second case, he's actually putting himself down because he's not going to the hospital. He has to go to the hospital. So, why am I telling this is exactly like this only. Person doesn't aspire to surrender, but he practices Krishna consciousness. Right? If a person doesn't aspire to surrender to the words, to the will of the spiritual master and the Lord, then whatever he's doing, what is happening, he's doing on a surface level, there is every chance of leaving this process. Because through that he will not get any satisfaction or the taste. So that is what is happening. That means what is also another thing is happening is in the background. The time which he's spending in that process, that is also, it leads to punya, but it will not lead to devotion. Please understand. What is happening? It will lead to punya, but it will not lead to devotion. Because if you see here, Arjuna, and then we discussed in chapter 1 also about Duryodhana, what is he doing there? He's also doing a similar lines. What is he doing? On one side, Arjuna doesn't want to fight. On the other side, Duryodhana wants to fight. Why Arjuna doesn't want to fight? Arjuna doesn't want to fight because he knows unnecessarily he'll be killing so many people. See, for me to become king or for me to be on the throne, why unnecessarily so many people should die? No, that's a valid question. If any person is asking that question now today, they would say, yeah, this is not necessary. If you're satisfied, if you're happy with that, be like that. That means let's say the person is not giving you any property, you can survive without property also. Just be like that. Because unnecessarily, why you want to trouble the common public for that? So a lot of people they say that that is right. But technically, if you see on the other side, Duryodhana, he wants to have that fight. Why? Because through that fight, he'll get the kingdom again. Now his consciousness is completely different. What is his consciousness? Doesn't matter. People die, that's okay. Am I getting my property? Am I getting my dynasty? Am I getting name, fame, profit, adoration? I'm happy with that. Just like the people of this world. The people of this world, they don't care for the other person. If I'm happy, if my tummy is full, for that 1,000 people might be down. That's okay. I'm not worried. I will do my own politics at the office because I need to protect my job. Now, through that politics, so many other peoples are affected. That doesn't matter. I have to protect my job. Not protect my job. I have to show that I'm great. I have to show that I'm superior. Is this not the mentality of Duryodhana? This is exactly the mentality of Duryodhana. That's why the person who's actually doing that, he is also in frustration. He is in tensed. The directors or the upper management, they show that, what, I removed that person and then I saved so many dollars. I saved 50K. I saved 50K per year. This is my performance. You see, I reduced the budget of the company. I reduced the budget of the department. See, last year, the previous manager or previous director, they gave 4% hike. But I am maintaining the employees, but I am giving only 3% hike. And not only that, I removed another person also. What is this? This is their performance thing. Please understand. So, if something is happening in our life, we need to understand that there is so many things which are running in the background. For example, if we are cheated, that means we need to understand we are the biggest cheater. That's why we've been cheated. Now, Duryodhana has been. Now, another question will come. Why Duryodhana is in that state? Why he wants to fight? He wants to have kingdom. That's why he wants to fight. Now, for that, he's pulling so many people. That's okay. That's his will and wish. He can pull so many people. Now, from his side, that is correct. Because he will say, I'm giving them money. They're doing they're reciprocating. They're coming and then giving their life in the battle. If they won, then I'll give more property to them. If they lose, then they will lose. They know, dear devotees, all the personalities that actually came to Duryodhana. We have read those things in chapter 1. The personalities who came to Duryodhana, they didn't come just like that. Duryodhana gave so much wealth to them, and they know that if things will go up and down, they have to leave the body. That means they are ready to do that. For what? That means they love Duryodhana. Did they do? Did they do it out of bhakti? No. For their motive, for their benefit. Likewise, we go to the office. Is it bhakti? That means we. What I'm saying is, if a person goes to the office and then works. We are working at the office. Why? Because the employee will give us salary. Na, that's why we are working. Otherwise, why we will work? For example, if the employer will tell us, next 2 months, no salary, will you come and will you go and work? We say, bye bye, I will see another job. Why? Because what is important for us? Job is important, na? The salary is important. No, we're not dealing with the person. Entire material world is like that. Please understand. If the person will go to the hospital, do they treat us for free? They will ask money. They'll ask where is your insurance card? What is the copay? Hmm. They'll immediately tell, 80/20. Your employer will pay 80, 20% you have to pay. Let's say the bill is $2,000. You know what? Your employer will pay 80%, 20% you have to pay. It means $200 you have to pay. Yes. When you go and ask your employer, this is what it is. At the beginning only we told you. That means nobody does here for free, dear devotees. Please understand that. This world is designed like that only. Jiva, jivasya jivanam. In the material world, you see, if an elephant dies, for 2, 3 years, there is food for the forest. If a whale dies in the water, I think for 5, 6 years, the habitation will survive through that whale leaving the body. That means what is happening when the whale was alive, it ate so many animals, it ate so many fishes, because that is the food for the whale. Now, after she left, what is it giving? It is giving back. That means the material nature is actually created like that. You do it now, later on I will do it for you. I'll give another example. When the mother is young, she will actually take care of the children. When the mother becomes old, children will take care of the parents, of the mother. If they have good relationships, otherwise they have to rely on the old age homes or the hospice centers in US. So these are the things. Why am I telling all of these things, dear devotees? Because it is very important for our connection. Having thus spoken, Arjuna, chastiser of enemy, told Krishna, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Now, this is not the first time Arjuna is silent. Arjuna is silent in chapter 1 also. Because after speaking, he at the chapter 1 he concludes, my dear Lord, there's so much grief. I can't take this more. Let me stop here. There's so much grief. It's very difficult. I can't take this anymore. And he stops. What is it indicating? The first conversation which we had today. The person going to the hospital, he should go if there is a requirement. If he is actually doing that, then it is beneficial for him. Likewise, process of understanding Krishna consciousness should begin through chapter 1, which we discussed. And then the foundation of understanding Gita further is sloka number 7. That means Arjuna's acceptance to the will of the Lord is a prominent thing here. It is the will of the Lord now. What is the will of the Lord? Arjuna is actually completely shattered. His mind is completely blank. All his energy, he kept all his energy now. He says, my dear Lord, I can't do this anymore. Now, our Acharya said, this is the arrangement of the Lord on Arjuna. Why the Lord is doing arrangement for Arjuna? Now, why the Lord could have done arrangement for Duryodhana also? Now, what kind of arrangement for Duryodhana? Lord could have changed his consciousness. Lord could have changed his consciousness and Duryodhana would have given those 5 villages. He could have done that, right? Why is Lord not doing it? Now let's go further. Let's come to our plane. Oh, if the Lord desires, He could have changed our consciousness right away at this moment. Dear devotees, when we revolted against the Lord in the spiritual world, He could have changed our consciousness there itself only, so that there is no material world. Please understand why the Lord is not doing it. He could have done it there itself, then and there. This is His love, dear devotees. Out of love, the father, if the son wants to go away from the home, father says, no, no, stay here, stay. It will be good for you. But the son is adamant, doesn't want to hear, doesn't want to listen. So those things, if you see, dear devotees, it's very interesting actually. If that person wants to leave the father, then father says, okay, we can go. Because father knows if he doesn't go, he'll be unhappy here. The other side, father gives that free will to the son, that independence to the son. Okay, exactly this is what Krishna did to us. He could have changed our consciousness at that moment and then he would have said, "Oh, my dear Lord, you are everything to me." Lord doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to interfere into our consciousness, into our intelligence. Please understand this. Lord doesn't want to interfere. It's important. Otherwise, Lord could have changed consciousness of Duryodhana. There is no fight. Why is the Lord using only Arjuna or his pure devotees as his instruments? Why not others? Why the Lord is only using Arjuna? Why not Duryodhana? Because Arjuna is his pure soul, his pure devotee. And then the pure devotee will keep in such a situation that, oh, my dear Lord, you can put in whatever situation you want. I'm ready to accept it. This is the beauty of the process. That's why Lord actually chooses his pure devotees to do those services. This is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. Because he he followed the instruction of his spiritual master so deep that Lord was so pleased and he gave everything actually. Now, through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, every city in the world, there's a practice of Krishna consciousness happening. So, the Lord has chosen him. Why? Why the Lord has chosen him? Because he has pleased him so much. Because likewise Arjuna is very dear to the Lord. How? Since the childhood, so many difficulties coming. But Arjuna is always focusing towards the Lord only. He's actually following Bhishmadev words. He's like a spiritual master to him. His grandfather Bhishmadev. That's why he doesn't want to kill him. He says, my dear Lord, I'll die. I'll not kill my grandfather. Because he gave me everything. I have so much gratitude towards him. How can I kill him? It's very practical way Arjuna is telling. It's very practical. It's not like Arjuna is just telling like that. No, very, very serious thing. That's why Lord has chosen that kind of a devotee to teach Gita and then use him as an instrument to fight in the battlefield. Because Srila Prabhupada was also used like that. Pure soul, na? Exalted personality. Pure. Not a tinge. So that thing has to be understood. So when we know the dear devotees, then our consciousness will be totally different. Then we aspire. Then we aspire for that pure devotion. That's why to have that aspiration of pure devotion, remember we discussed the platform is Karpanya Dosha Pahadar Sabhava. To understand Gita further, this platform has to be established. If this platform is not established, we will understand it on a surface level that will not go in the heart. Very, very important. So that's why Arjuna felt silent now. He's not speaking a word. Then Krishna will begin speaking. Ashoshan anga shoshisham prajnavadansava gatasun anagata asusan anusotanti pandita. Oh Arjuna, you're thinking that you are a great person. You're mourning for what that is not worth of a grief, not worth of grief. What are you doing here? Then Krishna says, those are wise, lament neither for the live, neither for living, neither for dead. Krishna immediately chastised Arjuna. Why? Oh, Krishna could have chastised Duryodhana also. No? Why only Arjuna? Why Arjuna is chosen to speak Gita? Could have chosen Duryodhana. Duryodhana doesn't have that connection with the Lord. Only Arjuna has. There's so many personalities, right? Bhakshita, Saraswati, could have so many disciples. Why Shiva Prabhupada has been chosen? His connection. Prabhupada was the only person, the only disciple of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur who established this truth in the West. And after Shiva Prabhupada established so many other disciples, they also went to establish, but he started that. He established that. It's important. That means he took it to his heart. That's why for the next 10,000 years he'll be glorified. 10,000 years, eternally he'll be glorified. Because Vaishnavas, they come eternally. Prabhupada will come again, again, again. Different realms. They come in different realms and serve. Because their attitude is at service, 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 service. They don't have any other business. That's why the science of Krishna consciousness is that it gives us great hope and shelter to really pursue the truth to the core of the heart. They are devotees. Do bhakti, you should do pure devotion only. Do not aspire for anything else. You want to practice, practice purely. Don't have any motive behind anything. You're chanting, just chant for the Lord. If you're reading, just read for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. He gave everything. Na? Read that Prabhupada will be happy. Let me read 2 pages every day. Prabhupada will be happy. Just read for his happiness. Not that I'll gain so much knowledge out of this. No, just read for him. Just make him happy. If you just make him happy, it will be peaceful. Life will be peaceful. This is what we should aspire for. Unnecessary dealings of this world will never help us. Actually, nobody, only Vaishnava Acharyas they tell us like this. This is the words of Srila Prabhupada actually. Remember my spiritual master, we reiterating, establishing this truth again and again, more important, more vital. Because life after life we do it for ourselves only. For example, there is a cat. Does a cat think about dog? Or does a cat think about somebody else? Oh, it will just think about her eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So that's natural. 8,400,000 species. We did the same thing. That's a natural state. Please understand, after so many lifetimes, we finally got this opportunity. And then even in this opportunity, a very rare few people will get to know about Krishna consciousness. And we are that people. And if we take this if we take this very seriously, and then just do it for their happiness. This is a greatest thing actually. This is bhakti. It will wipe off all the reactions, sinful tendencies. Everything will be wiped off. No, don't do it so that these things will be wiped off. That's natural. Don't. That is also another expectation. Don't expect that, oh, let me read this and then my sins will be removed. We don't read so that our sins are removed. We read to please the other person happy. A byproduct. Sins are going away. Sins is a byproduct. It's not the natural. What is the natural? To make them happy. Pure devotion is natural. Very, very important. We need to aspire for this. This is our state. Let us all aspire for this. Please have these meditations. Their devotees, our life is running out. Do we know how many days more we will live? Some are in 50s, some are in 60s, some are in 40s. Do you know how many days we will live in this world? We don't know. I'll tell you something. When I was living in Pittsburgh, I think this happened 3 years back. I was a colleague. He was like, it's like we live in one area. I think we used to live in one area, and then the area next to us there was another person. He's not a practitioner. He's not a devotee. He works in a company, software manager. He's like 41. He has like 2 children. He's just typing, typing, typing. He suddenly falls down from his chair. Nobody understands why he fell down. The moment they call 911 and then the ambulance came, the moment he was carrying on the stretcher, he died. No, this is life, dear humans. What kind of life is this? Always think about this. How we came, how we go, do we have any idea? And then after we leave, so many people will cry for that. Relation, some connection. They cry. Thinking that, he has to come back. It's everything is in a precarious condition. But the person is just changing the bodies. People do not have any idea actually. And this human form of life should be used for the best purpose, which is Krishna consciousness. There is nothing else actually. That is the only purpose. Dear devotees, so-called purposes of this world, they are not purposes of the world. Practice of Krishna consciousness is the only purpose for us. But that state will only come when a person comes to the consciousness which Arjuna is established, is kept in at this present moment. What is the present moment? Nayotsaiti Govindam. Please understand this. Nayotsaiti Govindam. Nayotsya. Nayotsya means I will not fight. Why is he saying, he is a Kshatriya, he should fight. But he says, Nayotsaiti Govindam. Uktva tusnim bahu babuvaha. Utma tusnim bahuvava. Evam muktari shikesham guda kesa parantabaha. Oh, my dear Lord, I cannot do this anymore. Why? Heart is not accepting. Sadhaka should come to this state. What is that state? For example, you're doing a sinful activity. For example, a thought comes, you're doing a sinful activity. That thought itself should bring us to this particular plane. That thought itself should bring us to this particular plane. Otherwise, one will not understand the other slokas or the verses. Very beautiful actually. Devino sim yada that next, therefore, Krishna will speak. Because Arjuna is surrendered now. That means Arjuna is ready to hear. That means the perfect consciousness is established. The platform is established. Then only speaking after that. Up until that point of time, Krishna didn't speak a word. Dear devotees, that means it's a significance into our consciousness. We need to understand that. That means we will not understand what Krishna consciousness is if we do not have that state. It's very clearly showing us. So please aspire for that state. Please think about it. Chant for the pleasure of the acharyas. Do it for their happiness. I'll stop it here. Anyone has any questions? Otherwise, we'll end prayers. Hare Krishna. Looks like no one has any questions. Thank you so much for your valuable time. If
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna,
Pranam.
Hare
Thank you so much
Krishna.
for this next class. You explained so nicely this verse. I don't have any question, but
Hare Krishna.
I welcome all the devotees. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Vanja Kalpatarvescha Krupa Sindhu Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Anandapati Vaishnava Jai Namaste Thakur
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Gandharva Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Shwabha Jai
Jai.
Grace Neela Govinda Das Prabhu ki Jai
Jai.
Jai All assembled devotees ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.